Yo, what is up guys? This is Pedro here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about if Washington should trade or release Adrian Peterson if Bryce Love, Darius Geis, and the rest of the running back core is fully healthy for the start of the season. So if you guys are new, subscribe for Redskins and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. And guys, quick disclaimer, I'm not saying Washington should trade Adrian Peterson. We're just going to talk about the possibility of it, because if all of these running backs are fully healthy and are looking good in training camp, then it might become a real possibility for Washington to trade or release Adrian Peterson. So let's get started. So as you guys all know, we have a lot of talent at the running back position. They just haven't been able to stay healthy. Of course, it starts with Darius Geis, who this is his third year, but he hasn't been able to stay on the field at all. But when he was on the field last year, he was amazing. You also got Bryce Love, who missed all of 2019 with an ACL injury. He's about 5'9", 23 years old, 205 pounds, and was an absolute workhorse at Stanford. Had about 2,100 yards and 19 touchdowns, 8.1 yards per carry in his junior year, where he came in second in Heisman voting. And then, of course, you got Mr. Consistent Adrian Peterson, who had 900 yards last year, 4.3 yards per carry, 211 carries, and if he was behind a better offensive line, he probably would have gone about 1,000 yards. But if all of these running backs are healthy, guys, it really poses a threat to Adrian Peterson to possibly release or trade him if teams are interested, because Bryce Love isn't, at least for his career, he's not going to be a guy that just gets a few carries per game. He's going to need 10, 15 carries to really start developing, and he's not going to be able to do that with Darius Geis and Adrian Peterson ahead of him, and also with Antonio Gibson. He's going to need some carries too, and then J.D. McKissick, obviously he's going to be primarily a pass-catching back, but he's still going to get a couple carries per game, so there's not too many carries to go around. But again, the only way we would possibly release or try to trade Adrian Peterson is if Bryce Love and Darius Geis are both fully healthy and doing very good in training camp before the season, and also if Antonio Gibson is doing good overall, because Adrian Peterson is still a beast. Like I said, last year had about 900 yards, 5 touchdowns, and missed the first game of the season because Jay Gruden benched him. So he's still he's still good. He had a 1,000-yard season in 2018. So I think it would still be wise to keep him around, because he's a good culture guy. He's a good guy for Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera has praised him a lot. And the biggest thing is he's an insurance policy. If Darius Geis goes down with an injury in week 4, then all you got is Bryce Love and Antonio Gibson. And Bryce Love could be an absolute beast, but he's also coming off a torn ACL, so you don't want that many injuries in your backfield. So that's why I would personally keep Adrian Peterson, unless Bryce Love and Darius Geis are absolutely balling out, and same thing with Antonio Gibson. But then still, unless I get a really, really good offer from a team for a trade, I wouldn't do it. Maybe a 4th-round pick, because again, running backs aren't the most valuable position. So teams, we might be able to get a 6th, 5th-round pick at most. But if we were somehow getting a 4th-round pick from it, then I would potentially do it. Again, though, that's only if Bryce Love and Darius Geis are fully healthy. And yeah, it's not the smartest thing to do with this backfield. It is so they're so injury prone so far in their career. So I think what you do is have them on the roster this year. If Geis and Bryce Love are doing good, that's fine. You don't have to give AP that many carries, especially late on in the season. But maybe next year you move on from him if Geis and Love look good, because then you have Darius Geis, Bryce Love, and Antonio Gibson in your backfield, a great 3-headed monster. And I think that's what I would personally do. And again, Adrian Peterson is just such a durable back. He's played in pretty much every game for us in his 2 years here. The only game he missed was the game that Jay Gruden benched him, and he's still going strong. And I think he would be a great fit again for us, especially with Ron Rivera. I think he would be decent in Scott Turner's offense. Again, he's not the best pass catching back, but I think he is serviceable there. And I think we just got to keep him at least for this year. And then maybe next year we move on from him again, because there's not going to be enough carries to go around, especially if Geis and Bryce Love turn out to be what we think they can be. I think it would be smart to keep him this year and move on from him after the 2020 season and go just with Darius Geis and Bryce Love as your lead backs. Because remember, Bryce Love was an absolute stud in college, had about 2,100 yards in his junior year, second in Heisman voting as a running back, but then he tore his ACL in his senior year, was running behind a bad offensive line, and then ended up being drafted in the 4th round by us. So it's kind of a steal. He probably would have been drafted in the 2nd round if he went after his junior year. So I think he's a great player, and I think he needs to get carries to be successful. I mean, that's with any back, but he can't just get 5-7 carries a game. He's going to eventually, maybe not this season, but in the years to come, he's going to need 10-15 carries every game, and it might be something like New Orleans with Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram as a 1-2 punch. I think they would work really well together. And then even Antonio Gibson as a pass catching back. You really got 3 backs that have really, really good potential, and we'll see how it goes because 2 of them are going to pan out in my opinion. At least 2 of them. If one of them goes down to injury, say Geis or Love, we still have 2 other decent backs. So that's my opinion right there. I think Bryce Love and Geis have really good potential. But again, like I said earlier, it all comes down to injuries because if these guys are all healthy, then then it becomes a conversation. But if these guys start out the season with a sprained ankle or even an MCL injury or something more serious like that, then it's not even a conversation. Adrian Peterson will be on the roster because you know what you're going to get from him every game, at least a solid game, and he's going to, at worst, if he gets like 15 carries a game, he's going to end off the season with like 750 yards, and he's still a decent back in this league, and I think it won't be bad to have him on this team, especially to develop these young running backs. Darius Geis, it's going to help him, but I think it's going to help Bryce Love and Antonio Gibson a little more because they're younger and they still haven't played in the league. So I think it's going to help all of them, but especially Bryce Love and Antonio Gibson develop into better backs, especially Love because they're very similar running backs, and Peterson, Bryce Love because they're both they run the ball a lot more than pass catch. Are both not the best pass catching backs. Bryce Love, we still don't know how good of a pass catcher he is because he didn't really get that opportunity in Stanford. We will see though. Again though, if we do end up trading for him, and first teams would have to be interested, and if teams are interested, I think we could end up getting at least a 6th round pick, and again, that's not worth it. A lot of teams don't want to try to trade for running backs because they're easily available on the market, so maybe we could get a 6th round pick, and if we ended up getting a 5th round pick, I would consider it if everyone was healthy and doing good in training camp, but again, I think his veteran experience and leadership in this locker room, especially for the culture, would be helpful. So at least right now, I want to keep him, not trade him or release him. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash the like button, turn those post notifications on, subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you guys want to do with him because some people do want to end up trading him or releasing him, and a lot of people are steadfast on keeping him to help develop the running back room and the culture in Washington. So again, let me know with that, and yeah, I have a few videos coming out soon, so I hope you guys are enjoying the videos, and have a good weekend, and peace.